What's up, guys? Captain Rick Stanczyk here. Welcome to another weekly fishing report. We're getting near the end of June and we're definitely in summertime mode here, but the fishing's been pretty good. July's coming up. That's still a great month for tarpon. Snook fishing's pretty good too in the Everglades with a few reds mixed in. Plenty of trout and snappers in the bay, and triple tails were strong last year and probably will be again this year. We've had some good days with that, so you never know what to expect. So here, come take a look and I'll show you what we've caught this week. So today I had Ron and his son Taylor, who were visiting from Fort Lauderdale, and they have a house down here, and they wanted tarpon. I told them the bite had been a little slow, but we managed to find a few happy fish today. We had to run deep into the backcountry. Luckily I caught some bait yesterday, and so we were good on that front. Sometimes bait is the hardest thing to get, and if you have it, it can really make your day. So we shot back there. We found a few groups of fish early, and they were responsive. Taylor caught one right away, a nice 20-pounder, 25-pounder. Take a look at him here. All right, nice little tarpon in the first 3 minutes.
That's how you start the day off.
Exactly. And mostly just tarpon. We did a little. Tarpon there.
Fish of the day.
Sure,
That's right.
sure.
Captain Rick put us on the fish.
Absolutely. Yeah, nice little guy on the bigger rod. He fought good. He jumped well, and Taylor did a great job fighting him. Going real easy on those fish is critical, especially when they're those little guys. They're just so good at throwing the hook. We kind of downsized the hook and everything just because it's harder to get those bigger hooks in their jaw real good. But he stayed on there for us, first bite of the day, and that's how I like to start the day. Fish stayed there. They kind of thinned out as the tide quit. We had a few shark bites and jumped one more tarpon, but then it was time to move. Dad got to catch a big one when we moved. He caught about an 85, 90 pounder. Check it out here. Alright, nice big tarpon. We had to wait a little while, but we got a bigger one on.
Is that?
Yeah,
Nice.
should be pretty cool with it.
Maybe you want me to do differently, right?
No, you're good. Yeah, he's close. No, you do that thing. Whew. Yeah, nice one there. Yeah, good,
He's barely hooked here.
yeah, we can pop that out. So what a fish, you know. It's funny, we were just seeing lots of little ones, but the big ones are still out there. You never know unless you go. So, so that was cool. We ended up getting one more fish, another one for Taylor, about a 50-pounder. And that was it. That kind of wrapped up our morning of tarpon. Real good, 3 out of 4. All right, camera was overheating. I had to let it cool down for a minute, but anyways, we got out of there after the tarpon action. We finished up the day with a good number of snook, mostly little guys, and a redfish. So Taylor got a backcountry slam. Awesome finish to the day, and that's it. So a couple days off now. All right, so I had Carlos and Alan today. They fished with me before, and they got me booked for 3 days. Today was day one. Just had a couple days off over the weekend for Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. We had to work at fishing a little bit today. We had a little bit of bait left over that I had on ice. Tried to catch some mullet in the morning. It was very tough. We checked 3 or 4 spots and not much doing. So we just kept pounding back to where I'd been finding some tarpon last week, and we found some. And we ended up hooking one, pretty quick after we got out there, so that was good. Carlos got him. Check it out here. Get him with the D-hooker there. Just hold tight on the line there.
All right, Alan. 15 minutes in.
Woohoo! All right, good release.
That's awesome.
All right, so nice fish to start the day. We were heading out. We struggled with bait, and some days you're heading out there, and it's hard to keep morale up, because you just kind of have a gut feeling that fishing's going to be tough. But it's always nice to start like that, especially after not being able to get the bait that you wanted and making use of what you had. So good start. We tried for tarpon a little bit longer. We didn't really see a whole ton more. We lined up on a few, but no bites. And then we did catch a couple little Goliath Groupers though, and hooked a big shark that we popped off, and Carlos caught another smaller shark on a pinfish later too. All right guys, so I'm back at the ranch here, but just to finish up, so yeah, we caught that tarpon and it kind of slowed down a little on us, but we tried some other stuff. We had to work around a little bit, but we got into a good bite of snook, mostly little guys, but Carlos ended up catching snook and a redfish and a trout. So he got Backcountry Slam, tarpon, snook, redfish, and trout, if you like to throw that in there too. So good way to finish up the day.
You got teeth?
Nope, yeah, you can lip them just like a bass there. There you go. All right. Nice snook. All right, Carlos got the redfish for the Backcountry Slam. He even got the trout in there too. All right. We spent the last hour looking for triple tails. We saw a good 6 or 7 the last hour, but they were buried so deep in weed it was hard to get a bait to them. And the few we had good shots on were a little finicky. We hooked one, pulled the hook on it, and that was that. But anyways, fun way to finish up the day, something different. And I got them again tomorrow, so we'll see what happens and we'll let you know. All right guys, well this was day 2 with Alan and Carlos. We had to fish real hard. It was kind of tough out there. We spent an hour trying to catch bait and we caught some mullet. Had to throw the net 15 times to get them, but we got them. We spent all day tarpon fishing. Did not see a whole lot of tarpon early. We caught a few sharks. Tried for some big snook in a few spots, no luck with that. And then finally last spot of the day, we saw hundreds of tarpon in a channel. They didn't bite real well. We had to really work at it. We moved 3, 4, 5 times. A bunch of sharks ate us up, and then finally one of the last baits out. Alan caught a nice 40-pounder. Check him out here.
He's jumping. Oh, we got a catch. Leader, right?
Yep.
Can we loosen it or we're good?
I think you're okay right now. Just watch if he goes under. He's going out right now, though. Been waiting all day for him, but we finally got him. Had to work for it. Hundreds of tarpon rolling all around in here. We pulled in and looked too good to be true. The sharks started eating us alive, but persistence paid off here. Come on, fish.
Come on up,
We're just
baby.
going to take your picture.
Oh, yes.
Woohoo. No, he's there. He just,
Oh,
I think he just clunked himself in the head, jumped into the
look
boat.
at that. Yeah.
Woohoo! All right.
Beautiful. Look at that. Nice one.
Woohoo! All right. All right, guys, day 3 with Carlos and Alan. We had a little tough fishing with them overall for the 3 days, but we managed to put it together each day. today we had some good action with some nice juvenile Goliath groupers on light tackle. We caught, I think, maybe 8 of them, and a lot of fun on the light rod. Check out Carlos's here. All right.
Got him?
Yep,
All
nice
right.
little Goliath grouper.
Oh, there's 2, yeah.
Yeah.
3, there's
Three
a
of
3rd one. They're all 3 here.
Yeah. Checking us out, waiting for us to catch something.
Look at that sucker. It's huge. Hey, bud. Is it hanging onto the boat?
He's trying to. So that was a lot of fun. You know, we had really been trying for tarpon, just did not see a whole lot of tarpon this morning, and we didn't have a whole ton of bait. You know, we could have spent an hour or 2 trying to catch bait to really load up, but that would have killed our time and wouldn't have been able to run where we went. So sometimes you just gotta go left or right, you know, make that decision. So we went up there. We did see, you know, a decent little handful of tarpon, and we had to move around a lot. We got a couple bites. They just didn't stay on the hook for us today, which, hey, that's fishing, that happens. But the guys each caught one the past couple of days. We ran out in the Gulf, checked the wreck for some permit. It was kind of had some boats on it. We looked around to see if we saw any swimming, but no luck there. So we finished up the day catching a few nice snook, which was a lot of fun. Nice way to end the day. Here's one here. Ooh, nice big snook here. All right. Nice. All right.
That's a definite picture.
And so we're loading some pinfish right now. I got my dad tomorrow. We're going to try to see if we can catch some big snook like we got into last week. I don't think we have the right perfect conditions like we did last week, but hopefully we'll be able to catch 1 or 2. But check out the water here in the Marina Basin. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just a like a tea-looking brown color, and that's from all this sargassum weed, which isn't so thick in here right now. The tide's starting to drag it out, but we had this last year. It just starts decomposing in the marina, and there's so much of it, it actually starts staining the water, sucking the oxygen out of it, and it starts killing a lot of the fish and the bait in here. So just one more thing to add to the difficulty of fishing here in the summer sometimes. But normally it's not this bad, but last summer it was, and so far we've had a couple little bad instances here the last couple days with that. All right, guys, so great day today with my dad, his friend Pete, and friend Ron too. We were kind of going for home runs. We had that big day last week with the snook with my dad, and conditions weren't really quite as good this time, but we wanted to give it a go. And hey, we were rewarded handsomely. They beat us up though. We lost 5 or 6 good ones just going through the leader, and that's like 50-pound leader, you know, so heavy stuff. Pulled hooks on a couple of them. Shark may have gotten 1. Those big fish, they really beat you up, you know. Just to catch one big one is you've done something, you know. They definitely have the advantage when it's all said and done. But we got a nice one to the boat. Check Ron's out here. All right, double headers on here.
Hang on. I can't move. My problem is if I get stuck.
All right, watch it, yours.
I can't move. Ah, Jesus Christ. Jesus. God darn it, Ricky. That was a big fish. Yeah, big red. Big snook. Giant snook. Yeah, big giant snook. I lost it. I lost a 15, 18 pounder right there. He's got a 15 pounder on here. Easy, Ron. Don't get him in the motor. Okay. All right, I'm going to put the net over here. You have to bring him to me, all right? This is a monster snook. Yeah, mine was bigger than that. All right, now, Ron, you got to get his head up towards me. All right, wait. You got to walk up towards me, Ron.
Okay, Rich, I'm trying.
Right in the net, and drop it when I tell you. Drop it. Look at that stuff, baby. All right.
Oh!
Ron saves it. That's
All right, they were beating us up today. We finally got one. All right, big snook.
All righty.
Woohoo!
That was.
And so we also kind of found something unexpected. Just hundreds of tarpon showing up a little offshore back in the backcountry there. we were checking the spot, hoping for some big snook, and the tarpon were everywhere. I think we caught 5 or 6, even had a triple header on, and caught all 3 of them. So really cool stuff. You know, those 30, 40 pound summertime fish. So hopefully that's a good sign that they're moving in the backcountry. Because as you know, the last few days was a little tougher for me. We fished all day for a bite or 2. So nice that it was easy and a little bit unexpected. Caught them on the light tackle too, so really cool. Check them out here.
Triple header tarpon right here. Now, Ron, get that hook out of here, you'll have a quad.
Oh, did you get that, Ricky?
I think so.
That where he is.
Oh, Ricky, did you get that?
I think so.
Well, but now this is a basic.
All right, try to get them to kind of lay next to each other, guys. All right, he's hooked right in the lip there. Look at that, barely in there. All right, gave him a little push there, and he took off fine. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching my weekly fishing report. That's it for me for this week. Be off for a few days. Back at it again next week. Hopefully, the fishing's going to start to pick up a little bit as we settle into summer. Tarpon fishing usually gets really good in July. There's always that transition time, you know, and we have it periodically throughout the year. Winter to spring, spring to summer, summer to fall, etc. And that's always can be kind of a tricky time, you know, because fish moving around, bait's moving around, temperatures are changing, winds are changing, and once they get settled in and then you get dialed into the pattern, you can have, you know, really red hot fishing, but you always get that in between time, and you never know exactly when it's going to be, where you know, sometimes you just got to go and try and try and try, and you might strike out, but then you hit a home run, and sometimes it's, you know, big things happen, kind of like today. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.